Part A is also horrible. Imagine unelected bureaucrats and they get to decide what they can censor and take offline. Hey, this is harmful content. We're going to delete your tweet. We're going to make sure that it disappears. Hey, isn't that great? You're not going to go to jail. You're just going to get censored on the internet. Amazing. It's so much better. It's protecting kids online. No, it's not.
If we have government controlling speech, we're in trouble.
More power to intimidate, to lock up, to silence.
The most totalitarian bill I've ever seen.
SaveFreeSpeech.ca.
So, here he is, Arif Virani. He tabled Bill C-63, and what does he say today? Months of conservative filibustering have stalled progress on Bill C-63. Our kids can't wait any longer. Today, I propose to urgently advance the Online Harms Act, specifically the parts that protect children. It's time that platforms work with us to save lives. Look at that rhetoric. Saving lives, eh? Saving lives. Are you sure this isn't about setting up a large $200 million piece of bureaucracy that's going to let the government control all content on the internet? Are you sure it's not about the government getting control over all content, pretty well all content on the internet? You sure it's not a control thing? You think it's saving lives? Really, Arif? That's crazy. This is great for me because it's my job to educate people on Bill C-63. And now he's kind of just divided it up. Okay, now we can talk about Part A, Part B. Let's make it nice and simple. Part B certainly is the more disturbing stuff in the bill, where it expands the definition of hate speech, detestation, and vilification. Detestation means intense dislike. So if you intensely dislike something under this new legislation, that would be enough to go to jail for up to 5 years. So yeah, it's no wonder that the Part B, the Stop Hate, was not so popular. However, and this is what I need to emphasize, Part A is also horrible. Part A is also horrible. Imagine unelected bureaucrats and they get to decide what they can censor and take offline. Hey, this is harmful content. We're gonna delete your tweet. We're gonna make sure that it disappears, and possibly more. Possibly, can you get the data on this person? Can you? Hey, this person posted harmful content. Can you tell us more? We're actually doing an investigation now. It's bad, and the thing is, again, this guy is obviously dishonest. He tells us that this bill, first strike, Arif, is that you said this bill is about protecting kids online. And now you've proven to us that that is a lie, because there's this whole thing about stopping hate. That you're actually you're kind of separating it. And you're saying, oh yeah, actually, you know what? You're right. Half of it wasn't even really about protecting kids. So you were lying. So you were lying, Arif. Great. Thank you for confirming for us that you were lying. But now, of course, he's lying again because he's saying, hey, Part A. No, guys, seriously, half of this bill truly is about protecting kids online. No, it's not. No, it's not. And the obvious, once again, all you got to do is you go to SaveFreeSpeech.ca. You click on Bill C-63. You click on Bill C-63 right up here in the corner. Get censored online if an unelected bureaucrat deems your content harmful. This is part of the Part A. Does that sound fun? Does that sound like it's just protecting kids online? No, it sounds like unelected bureaucrats censoring me because they make the argument that my content is harmful. C-63 would create a digital safety commission, which would be a group of unelected bureaucrats who have the ability to force Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, Twitter/X, or any of these big platforms to take down your content within 24 hours. Under the guise of protecting kids online, these bureaucrats can use an array of reasons to justify censoring your voice online and potentially collecting your data as a means to further persecute you. Damn, who wrote this? This is fire. C-63, the list of harmful content the Digital Safety Commission will censor. This is the important part that I wanted to show. Initially, we're told Bill C-63 is going to protect kids online. We've determined that that is a lie because Arif Virani has said, you know what? Half of the bill was basically about hate speech, not really anything to do with protecting kids online. Okay, great. So half was not that, right? half of the bill was not protecting kids online. But now he's saying, no, this half actually is protecting kids online. Okay, now let's look at that half. Because here we have the outline of what is harmful content. And we have 7 things here. A, B, C, D, E, F, G. That's 7, right? So, A, intimate content communicated without consent. I believe this is revenge porn, I think. B, content that sexually victimizes a child or victimizes a survivor. I believe that these 2 pieces of content might already be illegal. I think they're alluding to child pornography here in at least one of these. So already most likely illegal if it's not already. Pretty sure they already are. Okay. So 2, that's 2 of 7. Okay. 2 of 7. And I say 2 of 7 because I've read this many times already. And the other 5 things have nothing to do with anything sexual. The rest of them are, let's just read them. C, content that induces a child to harm themselves. So if I say, hey, like what if you're a kid and you're like, you say to another kid in your class, hey, you're fat. Hey, you're ugly. Are they gonna kill them? Are they gonna hurt themselves now? Hey, you're skinny. Hey, you're too fat. You should be more skinny. If you break down the definition of C, content that induces a child to harm themselves, they specifically say like eating disorders. If it might cause a kid to have an eating disorder. And keep in mind, this is the most important thing of this section of the bill that's not that bad, is unelected bureaucrats will be deciding all of this. Unelected bureaucrats will be deciding all of this. The problem with so many pieces of legislation that have to do with speech is like the recent ones that are usually coming from a progressive standpoint, from a DEI standpoint, from a stopping hate standpoint. The problem with all of it is that there's no clear line of like what is criminal speech there is a clear line, which is like inciting violence and wanting to kill a group of people or specifically harm a group of people. That is the line. That has been the line for what is actually speech that's not okay. And the problem with a lot of these speech laws they're trying to bring in is they're starting to blur that line and expand that line into like different words of like, oh no, if you detest the person, you can't do that either. No, if you villainize the person, that's when it becomes bad. And the problem is it's not a clear line. It's not a clear line at all. Who decides what detestation is? And it's totally horrible. It's even way more broad with this. Content that induces a child to harm themselves. Personally, when I watch Taylor Swift, I want to kill myself. So anytime a kid posts a Taylor Swift promo, is that harmful? It's harmful to me. Seeing all this Taylor Swift stuff everywhere, that's depressing. Makes me want to kill myself. Okay? So, if I was an unelected bureaucrat, part of the Digital Safety Commission, I would censor all Taylor Swift posts because I find it depressing. It's got to stop. Actually, and unironically, actually, anytime I see someone tweet about how they want Trump to annex Canada and maple MAGA, that makes me want to kill myself. Okay, so we got to stop those posts because I identify as a child. See how loose these definitions are. If you really wanted to go there, we are the Digital Safety Commission, and we will decide what content induces a child to harm themselves. Do you hear that out loud? How insane that is? I am an unelected bureaucrat who works in Ottawa. I'm part of the Digital Safety Commission. I am going to determine which content induces a child to harm themselves. What about that Netflix show 13 Reasons Why? Are you going to ban that? This was a Netflix show 13 Reasons Why is an American teen drama television series developed by Netflix and based on the 2007 novel 13 Reasons Why. The series revolves around high school student and the aftermath of the suicide of fellow student. Before her death, she leaves behind a box of cassette tapes in which she details the reasons why she chose to kill herself, as well as the people she believes are responsible for her death. Are they going to mention how there was a spike in suicides after this TV show? Here we go. Criticism. Several health professionals, educators, and advocates linked the show to self-harm and suicide threats among young people. This community also expressed major concerns about the series romanticizing suicide. Actually, that's a great point. Suicide? What about MAID? What about medical assistance in dying? Isn't that a good thing, Arif? Isn't it good to kill yourself if you feel like it? So, any content promoting MAID, is that going to be now removed off the internet, off the Canadian internet? How do we, Arif, what do we do with MAID? How do we compute MAID? MAID is medical assistance in dying, a good thing for people who want to kill themselves. But also, when it comes to harmful content, we cannot have content that induces a child to harm themselves, even though we are kind of advocating for people to kill themselves as the Canadian government. Go fuck yourself. So that's C, content that induces a child to harm themselves. D is content. I love this one. This one is so good. This one is the craziest one. This is the good side of the bill, guys. This is the side of the bill that's not that bad, and that's actually going to protect children. Content used to bully a child. This is harmful content on the internet that unelected bureaucrats are going to remove off the internet, apparently. Content used to bully a child. That's like, do I even need to say anything for this one? How insanely broad that is. He bullied me. Take his post off the internet. You know, like the idea that you could police that is insane. Is so insane. Like, I honestly, at this point, I do not envy you, Arif Farani. You're trying to sell this piece of shit legislation. What the fuck are you guys thinking? Well, we have to remove the content of if it's used to bully a child. How are you going to determine if content is used to bully a child? The thing that, like, grown-ups, I feel like a lot of grown-ups don't understand. Kids, younger generations are on a whole nother level when it comes to, like, making fun of each other and, like, digging at each other. Like, the bullying of today for young people, we probably wouldn't even recognize it. It's on such another insidious, insane level. But no, Arif Farani and friends are going to determine if the content bullies a child. Hi, I'm a bureaucrat who works in Ottawa, Canada. I work for the Digital Safety Commission. It's my job to take content off the internet that is used to bully a child. Oh, by the way, Facebook, if you don't take this down, we're going to fine you $10 million. We're going to fine you $10 million if you don't take this post down that's bullying a child. Let me bring that part up. See, this is another angle of huge criticism that should maybe arguably be the bigger one. Maximum penalty. The maximum penalty for a violation is not more than 6% of the gross global revenue of the person that is believed to have committed the violation, or $10 million, whichever is greater. So Facebook, Meta, Google, Elon Musk, you'll have to pay $10 million every time there's any piece of content that is used to bully a child on your platform. This is what the Canadian government is proposing. And that's why, part of the theory here is that not only is this side of the bill bad because it's not really focused on protecting kids, it's a lot more about just censoring the internet, giving the government the power to censor the internet, but it might actually nuke the internet. It might nuke the Canadian internet from orbit. What am I talking about? If you are Elon Musk, if you are Zuckerberg, if you're an owner of one of these big tech platforms and you learn that this new piece of legislation, you could lose tens of millions, hundreds of millions of dollars a day from the Canadian government because you broke their laws, you're going to look at our market and say, Canada's only 40 million people. The country of Iran is double that. The country of Germany is double that. Brazil is like 5 times that. Indonesia is like 5 times that. That's like one California. Canada is one California. Why would we hang around and wait to get fined $10 million by Justin Trudeau? I think we're actually just going to close up shop in Canada. That's what nuking the internet would look like with Bill C-63. The Part A, that's going to protect kids online. It could actually nuke the internet because I don't think big tech platforms would want to expose themselves to the financial risk of having to put up with this. Put up with unelected bureaucrats saying, we found... Let's look at the list again. We found, Elon, we found content that was used to bully a child. We found content that foments hatred. If you don't take it down, we're gonna fine you $10 million. This is what the Canadian government's saying. There's a very good chance that big tech platforms might just be like, bye Canada, au revoir. Why would we even stay here? Your country sucks. And there's very good precedent for this happening because the most recent internet bill that passed was the Online News Act. And now you can't get news content on Meta. Now you can't get news content on Facebook and Instagram and in some cases Google because of shitty legislation from the Canadian government. Because they don't understand the internet. They're just looking for money, basically. Actually, do I got the other screenshot here? It's pretty funny. I was doing some research on it today. They have written here, the purpose of a penalty. 98. Purpose of a penalty. The purpose of a penalty is to promote compliance with the act. And it is not meant to punish. Like the audacity of these fucking Ottawa bureaucrats. No. It's not meant to punish. No. It's just to make you guys comply. Are you sure it's not to make $10 million? Are you sure it's not to rob big tech of money? You sure it's not? Oh, no. It's not meant to punish anybody. The whole point of punishing somebody is so that they comply. Right? The very premise of this little note, the purpose of a penalty is to promote compliance with this act and not to punish people. No, the penalty is meant to punish people so they comply. Am I crazy or is just this legislation absolute shit? My God, bro. My God. I mean, should I even go over the next one? The next one is also very important. Content that foments hatred. Really? And here's the thing. They also have the definition. It's the same expanded definition that they have in Part B of the bill, which is detestation and vilification. So, the very low threshold of intensely disliking something, if you post content that intensely dislikes something, well, the Canadian government is going to fine Facebook $10 million for them to take it down off the internet. Yeah. See, it expands the definition here. Content that foments hatred means content that expresses detestation or vilification of an individual or group of individuals on the basis of a prohibited ground of discrimination within the meaning of the Canadian Human Rights Act, and that given the context in which it's communicated is likely to foment detestation or vilification of an individual or group of individuals on the basis of such a prohibited ground. It's the same definition. It's the same expanded hate speech definition that they want in Part 2 of the bill. That's also going to apply in Part 1 of the bill. So instead of going to jail for 5 years, you're just going to get censored on the internet. Hey, isn't that great? You're not going to go to jail. You're just going to get censored on the internet. All right. Amazing. It's so much better. It's protecting kids online. Yeah, all right, bud. Yeah, heckin' right. I'm so excited for the holiday season. I'm so excited to continue on with this documentary. Oh my goodness. I wish I could tell you who we're interviewing for this documentary, but it would mean the world to me if you could help support it. It is my Christmas dream. Okay. It's my dream for Christmas is to get this documentary funded. And to give you an idea, I'm going to be driving to Kitchener-Waterloo tomorrow to do an interview. I have to pay the cameraman. I have to buy hard drives to put the footage on to then upload. I'm also booking office space in Friday to do interviews. So all this stuff costs money is the point. So if you even have just a few dollars, then please support the production of this documentary. Go to giftsandgo.com/savefreespeech. It's it's not just about educating people on Bill C-63, but it's exposing the bigger picture of what Bill C-63 is all about. You know, Bill C-63 doesn't exist in a vacuum. Okay. Bill C-63 exists in this world where there's communists. there's these Antifa members. There's these ideologically possessed, power-hungry bureaucrats and also just sort of ideologues who are hell-bent on censoring people who they disagree with, silencing people they disagree with, destroying the lives of people they disagree with. And this is a very real phenomenon. It happens in different places in different ways, and it needs to be documented. The story needs to be told so people know they're not crazy. People need to know that they're not crazy, and we need to identify the enemy here. Okay, we need to identify the problem and identify the enemy because there is one in Canada, and that's what we're talking about in this documentary. I'm so serious about this that I have hired an award-winning filmmaker to help us with it. He's going to make sure that this story, that identifying this villain, reaches as many people as possible. I sent it again in the chat there if you want to donate. Hey, I really appreciate everybody watching.
Save free speech.
Save free speech.
SaveFreeSpeech.ca, that's the place to go.
And I think something happens to your brain when you've been in Ottawa for too long.
I don't know what it means to be incarcerated for what you believe.
Things are not going to change unless we change them.